Hello goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. It's a Friday, I've definitely got that Friday feeling. Pretty chill right now. It's been a fun week. Trying to make pipes for the pipe show. I've been struggling to hold on to them. But I've got a few to take to the pipe show. I will without doubt be the pipe maker with the least pipes there. I always am. It's just the way of things. I'm looking for my tamper. I'm sure I just had it here. Oh well, you've always got a thumb. Next week, I'm going to be doing, so this is probably of more interest to the pipe makers, or if for some reason any of you guys happen to be pen turners or something like that. But I'm going to start doing resin drops. By which I mean not dropping my resin, but in the past I've kind of designed ranges and then cast to order. Or in some rare cases, put together large orders for like Raw Crafted or something for retail. But I wanted to try something different. Something that would allow my creativity to flow as much as it does in resin as it does in pipes. So to that end, I'm doing small batches of whatever it appeals to me at the time, and then just releasing that just announcing it, and then once they're gone, they're gone. And I quite like the idea of that. I'm going to trial it in pen blank size. So the first drop is going to be the Guinness style, longer than these. They're like 5 inches, sort of more like that. And I've cast a bunch of them. And next week I'm just going to announce them when they're ready, and that's it. We'll see how that goes. That should be interesting. This week on Netflix I've been watching The Devil's Plan, which is a game show. I don't normally watch game shows. This is a Korean one. And it's crazy for 2 reasons. One, you're sort of observing Korean people, which is something I haven't done before. They're such lovely, I think obviously South Korean, such lovely people. And even when they're not, they're so sort of self-aware that if they do something that is not working socially, they kind of just accept it and go, okay, maybe I was being arrogant. I'm going to have to stop doing that. Okay, yeah, I'm going to move. I'm going to do something different. So just really like, the level of self-awareness is just really admirable. If you ever watch a game show like The Traitors, I guess another kind of like social game. I've seen the British one and I've seen the American one. And the level of self-awareness on either the British one or the American one is just nowhere near. You know, if someone's behaving like an arsehole, they never own it. But anyway, also the games on this show, The Devil's Plan, they are mentally difficult. It's like, okay, to be fair, they've chosen at least several fairly highly educated people amongst the group to deal with some of the maths. There's like a bunch of like maths games, yeah. And it's like, wow, that's something else. You don't see those kinds of games in Western TV. In some sense, it reminded me of an old British game show. It was called The Adventure Game. And this is like right back in the sort of early mid 80s, where there was like, it was kind of like the origins of like the escape room. They would have to do like really crazy like physical puzzles requiring, highly analytical minds to kind of untangle what they had to do. It was like really complex. It was not dumbed down at all. You had to like know things to solve those puzzles. The Adventure Game was fantastic, actually. Don't know how many of you Brits remember that show. There was a character on it called Grandfather that was just a plant on a pedestal that would just kind of shake in response to questions from granddaughter. And at the end, they would have to cross this tessellated bridge, trying to avoid a monster that they couldn't see that would, if they got caught on the same cross section as it, they would be killed. That was an unexpected trip into memory lane there. Last week, I gave you a tip for Case 63 as a podcast, but I've got another one actually. Quite different. It's a real sort of like detective gumshoe kind of podcast. It's a true crime one. It's called Detectives Don't Sleep. And I've been listening to that in between other things. It's a really nice sort of change of pace from, the other kind of things that I listen to. Really recommend it. It's narrated by a guy who's got a real gumshoe, real detective noir kind of voice. It's a lot of fun. They cover crimes from all over. Like, I think, like, from, like, the late 1800s in the States to even modern art crime in Europe. It's fascinating. Highly recommend it if you like that kind of thing. The UK Pipe Show is now just a few days away. 2 days away. It's on Sunday. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope that many of you guys watching that can make it turn up. It'd be lovely to meet you all. Yeah, it's going to be a good day because it's been a year for me since I've interacted with the pipe crowd. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it's a good day. I hope it's nice weather. In fact, it should be unexpectedly nice weather. Apparently it's really getting warm over the next couple of days, which is just mental. Just mental. Oh yes. Oh no, I'll say that at the end. For now, let's look at this week's pipes. I'm going to put you down. I was just spraying ash everywhere. All right. First of this week's pipes. This guy is making it to the show. It is Dr. Silence reading pipe. I really went just with a kind of like a classic look. This is just a chocolate sandblast. Just see those like nice reddish brown hues. I found this piece, look at that slope. It's almost like a windshield. Which is pretty cool. In fact, the piece of briar that it came from, I'm not sure what else I would have done with it. I usually say this, if you haven't seen this before, actually it's a black stem as well, that's pretty unusual for me. If you haven't seen this kind of pipe before, 7.5 inches long, the bowl is 2 inches deep, and it kind of, I class it as a sitter, because you can just put it down and it doesn't roll over, it just sits, which is a nice feature. I switched over to glass bead for this week's sandblasts. And it gives this kind of, it's really nice, it does get quite a lot of detail. You can see lots of, all that ring grain. It picks up really nicely. Not particularly deep, but just enough to pick out all the detail, which is really nice. He'll be at the show. I'm sure someone will have been wanting a reading pipe. This one was going to the show, but it got snapped up. I didn't even post it anywhere. It just, somebody said, "Have you got a strawberry?" And I did. Again, chocolate sandblast. I guess I really was going for sort of pipes with a classic feel to them this week. No, I say that and then the last one's going to divert from that. Again, you just like get the subtle, like the fan of straight grain, but you see a little ring grain going on as well. Paired with orange Cumberland in the half cell stem. I wish I could say that was available, but she's gone. And then finally, it wouldn't be an Eldritch pipe video without an acorn. Black sandblast. I ummed and ahed with Matt Hughes, this is his pipe, about the bowl colour. He wanted a purple violet theme, and did toy with a purple or similar stain for the bowl. In my mind's eye, that was going to be too much. It's better to let the violet be like a feature colour on the pipe, and with violet for me it doesn't really match with the browns. It could match with like natural briar. It can go into the yellowish tones. It can also go into the orange, which might not work so well. Depends on the colour of the briar, of course. But best with black. Violet and black is. There we go. Some nice detail came out in the blast. I'm buying some new blast media actually. I was looking at the blast media that was available to me. I use, well, in the media that I use, that's going to Matt. He's picking that up at the show. I'll see you there, Matt. The blast media tends to come, you can't pick a single micron size. I guess it's too hard to do that. Well, maybe. You'll see what I mean in a moment. It comes in a range, so it might be like from 100 to 150 microns, something like that. But then I saw a different blast media, and it was 150 microns. And I went, ooh, I'd like to try that. So I might order some of that next week and see how that goes. Because sometimes pinning down what effects the different particle sizes produce, it's not so easy when you're working with a media that actually has a range rather than a specific size. So we'll see. We'll see. So next week's video is not going to be at the end of the week like normal. It's going to be right at the beginning of the week, probably Monday, I would think. And it will be a pipes available video. So if you've been looking for a pipe and wondering what I've got available, next Monday is, so the 9th of October is the date to put in your diary and keep your eyes peeled. I'll keep track in the comments of that video what pipes I've sold. Try and make it easy on people. It's always galling to say, oh, you said you had that pipe video, and then I go, sorry, it's gone. But we'll do our best to keep things current in the comments. Alright, that's it for me. I'll be back next week with that video, as I mentioned, but till then, take it very easy. A loyal pipe maker.